what do we see from stewardship? What is it that is actually made clear for us? What does it produce, our stewardship? The offering of our time, our talent, and our treasure. And I'll give you a few examples of things that we see because people are so dedicated and devoted to the church. One thing that always is at the top of my mind when it comes to stewardship is the great teachers that we have in our church school. We have, I always fail to count how many, but there's at least 2 to 3 in every single classroom. And each one of them puts in enormous amounts of time and effort to make sure that they are prepared for their lessons and that they're able to deliver those lessons the best that they can. And they prepare themselves the best they can to answer questions that the kids have. And you'll be surprised at how difficult some of the questions are, that do arise, even from the little ones in the K and first grade, as I'm looking to the Hockendoner and Melzi and McRae side. And then I can look over to the choir for the seniors and the difficult questions they have. Our teachers are putting in all kinds of time and effort week in and week out to teach our kids, to make sure that they're there. This is a holy thing that they're doing. And they're offering the best of their time and talents. And we're grateful for that. Because without them, without that stewardship that they offer, we wouldn't have the great teachers that we do. If we look at the Philoptochos, and all the wonderful things that Philoptochos does, that is stewardship towards the parish. That is keeping in mind the great commands that the Lord has told us to do, to help those who are in need, whatever that need may be. And constantly, day after day after day, they are right there up front to make sure that those who are in need receive something, that they can be helped and comforted. But it's not just the Philoptochos, because more and more the parish as a whole has been doing that too. Do you know that we've covered the expenses of funerals for people who were indigent and couldn't pay for it themselves? Your stewardship has helped cover those funerals. What would happen otherwise? They'd be left to the state. And we're not sure exactly what would happen after that. But these people received Orthodox burials. They received the ability to be brought into the church, have a proper grave dug, and all the services taken care of with honor and dignity. That comes because of our stewardship. The people who help with all of our youth groups, with the Hope, with the Joy, with the Goya, they put in all kinds of time every single week to make sure that our kids are learning more about their faith and to make sure they're trying to get together with one another so that they can grow up with other Orthodox friends. People are going through the same things in this vastly diverse city, let alone world now in which we live in. And one of the most important things that stewardship has been able to do is it brought in Father Alex. It brought in a second priest. And some of the ways in which that has helped us are mostly hidden because you don't always see all the work that a priest might do. We can't always tell you, I had to go over and see this person over here because they had a big trouble and I had to go and talk to them for a while. You don't talk like that. It's not what happens. But it happens all the time. And because Father Alex is here, we're able to do that more often. Recently, a parishioner died. Father Alex, I asked him to go and see her when she was first diagnosed. Father Alex was able to go and see her at least weekly, and even more towards the end, and brought great comfort to that family, and in particular to that woman. It wouldn't have happened if it was just Father Alex here or just myself. Even with Father Vasily, as we've seen over the last few months, he's been taken, as is his job, that's his role with the metropolis, to be a substitute priest. And for the last, 4 months now straight, he's been going to Fort Wayne every Sunday to serve there while they're waiting for their priest to come. And as soon as he's done, he's off. Next week he'll be here, and then the priest, I believe, is going to be in Fort Wayne, but then he's got to substitute in Cincinnati for 2 more weeks. So he's got to drive 4 hours south, on Saturday to do that. So it wouldn't have been possible. This family wouldn't have had that type of care if it weren't for your stewardship that offers that. Because of your stewardship, throughout the year, I've been able to leave twice a month early. If you remember, I'd sometimes leave right after Holy Communion and go down to the church school, because once a month I meet with the 6th through 9th graders and offer a special lesson, and then once a month I meet with the 10th through 12th graders and give a special lesson. And without Father Alex being here, a second priest, that couldn't happen. And because of that, we're able to talk to them about some different things. We talk to them about friendship. We talk to them about bullying. We talk to them about some mental issues. We talk to them about suicide. We talk to them about everyday practical things that they're dealing with. And this happens because we have the ability to do that because of your stewardship. That's what your stewardship means, and so much more. There have been so many times where we can split, and I can say, Father, you go to the hospital today, and I'll go tomorrow, and then you take care of this here today, and I'll do that. It happens all the time. And as I had said before, with just Father Vasily, it wouldn't work, because he works full-time. But when we have 2 full-time priests, the needs and necessities you have spiritually are better able to be fulfilled. Not always completely even with 2, but still better than it was before. And that's what your stewardship offers. So there are so many things that come from our stewardship, from the time and talent that our teachers are offering constantly, that our youth advisors are offering constantly, that our Philoptochos is offering to those in need constantly, to what this church can do for those who are in need, who need burials, who need their mortgages paid, because that happens too. Our own parishioners need that from time to time, and from time to time we're able to do that. And all of this, and the second priest that we have, is enabled by your love for the Lord and your love for this community, so that more and more can be done. So as you think about the ways in which stewardship can help the church, your stewardship can help the church, keep in mind some of these things that I've said. And if you have any questions about anything, please come and speak with me or one of the members of council.